Spend a couple of days with me as a small business owner who runs a business doing dog treats and dog accessories. And I'm going to show you exactly how I do my product photography on white backgrounds to get the crispiest, whitest backgrounds you've ever seen. I feel like I've watched quite a lot of different tutorials on this, but I've kind of found my own way of doing it, which is like a maximum setup with minimal editing. Because sometimes when you're churning out products, like for me, dog accessories, they come straight in, they go back out. I'm constantly getting new products. So I don't want to waste time editing 6,000 different aspects of a picture for a product that's only going to be on the website for a short amount of time. Before we get into the day, I want to catch up about where I've been. I made a goal at the beginning of 2026 to post every single week on YouTube. It's now the 20th of June and I've posted like 5 videos. I think it's been a mixture of different reasons. In April, I had an operation on my nose, so I spent a few weeks recovering, and I had pre-filmed 2 videos and I was going to edit them while I was recovering. But obviously the medication got a bit too much and I ended up deleting all the clips. And then my parents had a lovely wedding celebration in May. For a couple of weeks, it was just like a lot of planning and like carrying out the celebration sort of thing. And then there's more. I was originally filming on a big Canon camera and I found that so difficult to move around, to bring to events, to set up on a tripod. So I bought a DJI camera, which is what I'm filming on now. And then I did a vlog on my DJI camera and Premiere Pro decided to crash out on me and I can't edit it and all of the footage has gone. When I was Googling it, I did order more RAM. Not really sure what that is, but I needed more of it apparently. So I ordered some off Vinted. Some RAM, like a stick of RAM. I don't really know what it is. The guy said that he was on holiday, so he couldn't post it until the 8th of June, which was fine. I wasn't really bothered if he posted on the 9th because I was going away from the 10th to the 14th anyway. When I was away, I was at Download Festival, so my data and signal was really bad, so I didn't even bother checking because nothing was loading anyway. I got home and it still wasn't posted, and that was on the 14th, and I messaged him and he didn't respond, and then on the 17th the order got cancelled. Love that. Now I'm RAM-less. I'm not RAM-less, but I need more and I don't have more. So I found another one that I need to order this week. But for this video, I'm just going to try and fight it out with Premiere Pro and get it to edit to some degree because I really, really want to be posting regularly on YouTube. Even though my goal was for the whole of 2026 to post every single week. If I gave up now, like I'm missing out on another 6 months of content that I could be filming and getting into the groove of, you know, and finding my own style and finding my own editing methods and all of this. So I feel like I've just got to keep going, keep plowing on, keep giving it a go. And also, my name is Lee. I haven't introduced myself. You're probably new. My name is Lee and I run a business called Canine Klein where I make and sell dog accessories and I also do natural dog treats as well. Let us get on to the photography and how to take product pictures on a white background with minimal editing. I'll start by just showing you what equipment I use, and I just want to quickly say that the equipment that I use was very kindly gifted to me over the years. You do not need to go out and purchase really expensive lights or cameras to do this. The main thing you're looking for is just the brightest light possible. It can be from a ring light, it can be from the soft boxes, it can literally be from anything. It can be using daylight. The reason that I just use a flashlight is because up until the beginning of this year I worked full time, so a lot of the time I was doing product photography in the evening and at night time and in winter, so I couldn't make use of the natural daylight. For a light I use the Pixapro Lumi 2 400. This is like a proper studio flashlight and I definitely don't use it to its full potential. I literally just use it for doing product photography on a white background. It came with a big bag of stuff like the reflectors and all kinds of stuff it came with, and I don't even know how to use it, so just a light will do, just a big light. If you do get a big flashlight like this, make sure it either comes with an inbuilt transmitter and receiver or you will have to buy one. I have a Pixapro, I'll put the name on here, and this is basically what connects it to the camera to make it flash as I'm taking the picture. And then my camera that I use is a Canon EOS 250D, and then I also just use a little foam board from Hobbycraft. I think these are like £7 or £8 from Hobbycraft and it is quite big. I have had this one for like 2 years, but yeah, that is the equipment I use. Use a ring light, use the sunlight, your iPhone. Yeah, just use whatever is available to you. This light also gets so hot, and it's really hot today as it is. I do not need more hotness in this room. I tend to set up my light really high to get a bird's eye flash over the product, and then it also just leaves the natural shadows of the product, so I don't have to add it into Canva and then add a drop shadow or whatever. The higher the light, the better. The way I used to do this was by standing on my chair with a ring light like this and my camera like this. Then I have my camera set up just next to it, and again, pretty high up. I'll probably make it higher, and then I just plonk the product on the background. I'm gonna adjust this up a little bit. Okay, so I've got my equipment set up, and because the camera is so high and I'm quite short, I connect my camera to the Canon app so that I can see the viewfinder on my phone, so I'm not constantly on my tiptoes. So I'll connect that and I'll show you what it looks like, and then we'll get photographing. So now that I've connected my Canon app to the camera, I can see the viewfinder on my phone, which makes it easier than going on my tiptoes to try and look through the camera. And then it also means I can adjust all my camera settings off my phone and take all my pictures off of my phone. It might seem like a bit of a weird way to do it, but I just prefer it than going on my tiptoes. I already have my settings set up from last time, but it does vary product to product. If I take a picture now, I can then see the picture. But here's the picture. I think the flash is a little bit too bright, so I'm going to turn down the ISO to 100. Essentially, all you want to do is mess around, depending on your light and depending on the camera you're using, mess around with your settings. I will screenshot my settings and put them here. If anything, you just don't want the product to look too washed out. I would always focus on what the product looks like in the flash as opposed to the background. Yeah, you can just mess around, have fun, whatever. Okay, so now that I've got it set up and I've got the settings I want, you can kind of see on my viewfinder that it looks quite dark, and that is just because as I take the picture, the camera lets in the flash, and that's what makes the picture bright. Okay, so now what I can do is, using my phone, I can literally press this button and take a picture if I can press it. And then that is the picture. Hopefully you can kind of see that, but there's the picture. So I'm gonna go through and do that with each of the bandanas. I'm just doing the retro collection. Again, I can see what I'm doing in my viewfinder, which I just find so cool. I don't know why. I try and leave a pretty big gap around the edges so that for my Shopify I can crop it into a square. Once you've kind of done the first image, doing the rest of the products is pretty quick. I tend to only take 1 or 2 images of each product after that, because they tend to just work straight away then after that. Okay, we're gonna move on to editing now. This is literally will be the quickest editing you've ever seen in your whole life. So for my editing, I use Adobe Lightroom, but I use the mobile subscription. I don't use the Lightroom for desktop. The mobile subscription costs £6.99. For me, this editing platform is just worth its weight in gold. I use it for everything. I use it for personal pictures, like for Instagram or social media. I use it for work. I use it for my business. I just use it for everything. I think it's great, but I don't use the desktop version. That one I think is about £12. So the first thing I do, which is an unnecessary step, I just prefer it, is I go onto edit here and I change the profile from Adobe Color. I go on to browse all profiles, camera matching, and then I select this camera standard, and watch how the colors just slightly change. See that? Before, after. With the camera standard, that is the closest to the raw image in terms of colours. If I'm using the automatically applied Adobe profile, it just slightly dulls them a little bit. It's not the end of the world, you don't have to. In person, the product is warmer than what the Adobe profile looks like, so I do this for the majority of my pictures. Next, I go on to masking and I select the background. As you can see, it's just selected the background, it's not selected the product at all. If it does select the product, which sometimes it will do, for my leads, it does sometimes select part of the lead as well. You can use the add and subtract, so if it's selected part of the product, you can click subtract and either use the brush, or I sometimes use the colour range as well, and that will take away from the mask, so you only want the background selected. Once you've got your background selected, I go down and on white here, I turn that up to 100. Already looks a lot better. And then I go down to point curve and I grab it in the middle and take it up to that top left corner. Done. Bish, bash, bosh, done. I hate to say it's good, but it's good. You can also do this on a phone. If your raw images have come out and the colours are slightly different, you might have to mess around with the product colours themselves. A good flash and good camera settings, it should come out pretty natural, and that is what it looks like in person, that bandana. What you can also do is if you go down to edit options at the bottom, and you can copy your settings as well. So you just want to make sure that masking is selected and the profile is selected. The rest, like, I've not messed around with anything else, so it doesn't really matter if they're selected. And then you can go on and paste it onto another product image. If you are pasting your settings onto another product image, just double check your masking that it hasn't overlapped anywhere or selected parts of the product. You can also paste across all your images at the same time. I will sometimes do that if I'm like in a rush, but I then go through and double check them so you can see the before and after. It's just so good. It's so good. It's so quick and easy. It takes like 2 minutes. Oh my gosh, I also crop it. I was just so excited by how quick the background was. And you can paste the cropping as well. Just as a roundup, change your profile to camera standard, select your background, up the whites to 100, move your point curve up to the top left, and crop. Okay, so now I'm going to add them onto the product listings on the website, and then I'm gonna get on with my end of year accounts. I did start them yesterday, and I'm a little bit nervous. I feel like it's going to be a little bit of a reality check. I really don't want to do them. I feel like I've just hidden from them. Financially, looking just at the numbers, I've gone backwards compared to last year. Not great. I can kind of look at it and go, well, I've invested a lot in dog treats, thus my spend has gone up. But it's just annoying because then you think maybe I hadn't grown to a point where I should have been investing that much. But then it's like, how much risk do you then take? At the end of last year, I quit my full-time job and got a part-time job to pursue my business. And obviously I'm not anywhere near where I need to be. The pay cut that I took going from full-time to part-time, myself and my partner have taken that hit financially. Like, I still didn't take anything from the business. At the same time, it was always with the view that eventually I would be able to. And it's not that I expected to be able to now, like 6 months later, but it's more that I've gone backwards as opposed to making any step forward. I did think that maybe it was because I was doing less events this year, but when I looked at how much I'd made from events, despite doing a lot more events last year, I still made the same amount this year. Like, my financial year runs from 31st of May. Nope, it runs from the 1st of June to the 31st of May. I suppose only 5 months of that have been me working part-time. Really annoying when like you're pouring yourself into your business and then you feel like you're taking 3 steps backwards. Obviously, running a business, you're not looking at just the financial side. Like, I feel like my business has grown from a brand side a lot over the last, probably like this year, like last 6 months since I've been working part-time. I feel like I've grown a lot as a person, and with that my business has grown. But it's still just frustrating to look at the numbers and go, well, actually you're going backwards. It's just mega annoying. This is my 3rd year of submitting accounts, so it's still so young, and I understand that, but you want more than anything to grow. And I don't expect to be like rolling in it from this business, but I just thought that maybe I'd come on a little bit, even stayed the same. If I'd stayed the same despite investing so much into treats and new products, then I'd be happy. But it's the fact that I've kind of gone backwards, and I don't know where I'm going wrong. Like, this year, obviously, as I said earlier, I'm trying to work on my social media presence, so maybe that will help grow. When you run a small business, you don't do it for the money, and I've never ever done it for the money or wanted it to be like this get rich quick scheme or whatever. Like, it's always just been because I enjoy it. But at the same time, a business does take money to run. Like, you can't run a business without investing into it or earning money to keep it going. You know what I mean? Are you annoyed, Luca? You are. That's good. Me too. Luckily, because it is only the 20th of June, I'm only 20 days into the next financial year, which means I still have plenty of time. I don't have plenty of time at all. I always said that if I hadn't grown enough by the time I'd finished paying off the loan that I got for this business, then that's when I would start to question what the right path was for me. And I finished paying off the loan in May next year, so I still have a year left. Like, maybe I can just throw myself into it more, balance my time better, do more on social media, and that will in turn help grow it financially as well. Running a business when you're working full-time and pursuing a corporate career is a lot. Like, it is mentally the most drained I've ever been, and I don't want to be in that situation again. However, ultimately, if this doesn't work out and I do have to pursue a career, then like I can't do everything, you know? Like, this is all I want to do, and I can't ever imagine not doing it. But I don't want to like waste my life flogging a dead horse. as the saying goes, I guess. I'm just gutted. I'm gutted. I thought I was going to do better than that this year. Me too, bud. Me too. Thank you for consoling me. Oh, it's his turn. You wanna, oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Stop licking me. Maybe I think there's just been moments where I've not put enough into it. Like maybe it's a me problem. Maybe I need to do more. I'm not going to cry is what I'm not going to do. No, I'm not going to cry. At least I don't have to pay tax. It's fine, it's fine. It's gonna be fine. I've got 11 months before I need to think about what I'm actually doing with my life. I don't know what I need to invest more energy in. Products wise, I don't think I need to invest in anything new. I can continue developing the products I do have. That isn't me saying that I'm gonna close in May, but it might just look different, you know? Like once I paid off the loan for the business, that is when I've always said that I would reevaluate where I was at, and that's what I said when I started this business before I knew where it would go. That is the point that I've always said, that is when I will take a step back and see if it's worth it, sort of thing. It's the only thing I can imagine doing in life. I can't imagine like waking up every day and going to work for someone else in a job that you don't like, because I've been in that situation where you're like, you just dread every day, and I never ever want to be in that situation again. I just like, I have to make it work. I don't have any other option. I need to sit down is what I need to do and look at where I'm going wrong, where I can improve what I'm doing. You hear my finger click? Where I'm going wrong, what I need to improve, and what I'm doing well, and then I need to fix it is what we're going to do. We're going to fix it. And to cheer myself up, I'm going to go and do some baking for my dad for Father's Day. I'm going to go make him some M&M cookies, and then we'll be in a good mood and we'll be ready to evaluate what is going on with the state of the business and how to get it better. So baking and then crisis after. Good morning. I've just finished baking my cookies for my dad because it's Father's Day. So I'm going to go see him shortly. I'm not a baker, but they're made with a lot of love, so that's the most important thing. And then I've also started editing this vlog as well, because the sooner I can start my battle with Premiere Pro, the better. And then I can just get through it, you know, plow on. And then my plan over the next couple of days is to evaluate where I could potentially push my business more. I think it's predominantly in social media. I've decided to save that as a different video and just go through the whole of that plan and how we're going to carry it out as a separate video, so I'm not going to put it in this one. And then I'm also going to be filming my top 5 craft market tips, because I've done like probably 50 odd events, and I feel like especially now with the craft market scene being quite not controversial but like debated, as in a lot of people have stopped doing market, and I feel like I have quite a few unhinged tips, probably controversial tips that you might not have heard before, so make sure you stay around to find out what they are. But thank you so much if you've made it up until this point. I'm sorry this one has been quite a chatty one, not a lot of doing but a lot of chatting. I just can't stop myself. Sometimes I just start talking and I don't stop. But anyway, thank you so much, and make sure you stick around to see the next upcoming videos, and I will see you next time, hopefully. Still don't know how to say goodbye.